on the beach today. Like I was supposed to be flying down right now, but yeah, long story short, coronavirus, right? And it's not going away. It's actually getting worse down there in Florida, from what I hear. I don't know, but that's what they tell me. And so I have today and tomorrow off. Originally, I was supposed to be down in Florida, but what are you gonna do? So I'm actually gonna take my dog. Oh my goodness, I was out there earlier shooting my air rifle. Oh my God, the feeling of getting better at something. Like, cause at first I was thinking, is this air rifle, is my pellet gun broken? I was thinking, like, did I buy a damaged gun? No, I just sucked. But as I started getting better, this morning, oh my God, like when you hit, I have little metal targets that spin when you hit it, so it makes a like clink noise and it spins. Oh my God. So, and for some reason, Dexter likes to go and just hang out there sometimes and poop right around there. I'm like, dude, like I'm shooting there, like come on. Anyways, when I hit like the target 2 or 3 times in a row, oh my God, I feel so amazing. Anyways, so I'm actually gonna take my dogs out to the archery range in a little bit, because it's cloudy, but it doesn't look like it's gonna rain till like later this evening. So Alan Pie, I love the feeling. Yeah, man, ridiculously satisfying. Whether it's the air gun and hitting that target, or whether it's the my bow and I hit, get a good group right around the bullseye. The feeling is so incredible. And here's the thing, guys. This was last year. No, was it? No, this was earlier this year. But anyways, I remember when I started getting better at archery, right? And the very first time I made a pretty good group, I got so excited. I jumped and I ran over there and I had my phone out and I was gonna take a selfie. And I was even gonna record it. Look at this, guys. And then I stopped myself because I sometimes I crave it too much, like an addict. And sometimes I feel like that's where I get my feeling of self-worth or value is like getting validated by others. I seek it. I mean, look at this YouTube channel, right? Why did I do this? Because I wanted people to, I guess listen to me, I guess. I wanted to feel heard. I wanted to feel like things that I went through matter, you know? Um but anyways, so I caught myself and I told myself, wait a minute, why are you doing this? Why are you about to take a picture here? And I was thinking, well, because I made a freaking good shot. Like, I got a good group here. I want to show it off. And then a voice in my head asked me, will that make it any better? Will that make this moment any more complete? Do you need that in order to feel complete? And I was thinking like, oh man, yeah, like I guess I don't. I guess I need to find it within myself to feel pleased and happy with myself, feel proud of myself, and let that be enough. Hey, what's up, Tara? And so then I put my phone away and I felt so proud of myself for not having to do that, right? And letting that moment be complete for me and not needing the validation of others in order to make me feel more, I guess, more happy, you know? And then I asked myself, aren't I enough for me? I don't have to be enough for you or anyone else, but aren't I enough for me? Can't I be enough for me? And I thought to myself, no, not yet. And I thought, well, when? When will I ever be enough then? And I was thinking, well, when I'm better, right? When I'm making better money, I'm driving a nicer car, I have my own house, like I have all these things that people can look up to and respect me, then I will be enough for me, when I'm perfect, right? Or actually close to perfect, because I know there's no reaching perfection, but when I'm close to perfect, then I'll be enough for me. Then I'll accept myself, right? Then I realized that's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna get there. I'm never gonna get to the point where I feel like I'm almost perfect or I'm doing really good, No. Because even the richest people I know, when I tell them like, wow, you guys are so, like, wow, you guys are living in abundance. This is wonderful. They always say like, oh, no, you should see so and so. You're never doing well enough if you're always gonna compare yourself to someone else who's doing better, right? We're never going to be enough. We're never going to get to that point where we feel like, oh, now I can feel satisfied with myself. So why not just choose now? Why not just be enough for me now with all my flaws? with all of my character flaws and my stumbling and fumbling and making mistakes all the time. Why can't I just accept myself with my failures and my flaws and all of my character defects? Just accept myself now, you know? Why wait? Because I'll never get to the point where I feel like, oh, now I can actually, Oh, actually, I got comments down here. Alan, I zeroed up my few rifles. Uh-huh. Nice. Well, the thing is, I went to okay, so here's when I realized how in my own head and in my own world I really am, and I don't really consider what's going on with other people. Here's how I really realized it. When I went to the shooting range to zero in my rifle, because the scope that came with it is a pretty freaking cheap scope, and I didn't know, but the people there told me get a new scope, right? But I was thinking maybe I should buy those ear covers things, right? And I was like, why would I need that? I'm shooting an air rifle, I'm shooting pellets, I was like, I don't need any ear protection. So I go there and then I see people shooting guns. So I put my ear pods in, my AirPods. I was like, okay, that should do, right? Yeah, it was not enough because I was shooting in the rifle section, and those rifles, man, boom, it rattles your brain. It rattles your teeth when you're standing next to them. I was like, oh, and I got scared because it hurt so bad. My ears started ringing. I was like, oh no, right? And I started looking around, and I think that the people that were working there, the range people, the employees, they saw me panic and they were like, "Oh shit, the pro, yeah." So the pros there, they like ran over and they gave me some ear sponges, those little like swimming protection things. So I put them in, and it still wasn't. It was too loud. I was like, I think I'm gonna go. I was like, I gotta get out of here. I did not consider what other people around me would be shooting. I only considered what I was going to be shooting. And I was like, I'm shooting an air gun. I don't need air protection. Not even considering that there would be other shooters there shooting real guns. Oh, what an idiot. So I was like, I gotta go. I was like, I'll come back with ear protection. And the guys were like, no, he was like, that should be fine. He was like, that actually works better than the earmuffs. And I was like, it's still like rattling my brain. And he was like, are you putting it in right? And he taught me how to roll it. You roll it really, really tight, and then you stick it in the ear canal, and then as it expands, it you know so I learned a lot that day. I learned that, first of all, I'm totally inconsiderate to other people, and I don't mean to be. I just don't consider what other people are doing. I've always been that kid. I've said this a lot. I've always walked with my neighbor's dogs in the forest when I was a kid. I didn't play with the other kids. I wasn't invited. I was weird. I remember one time when I was a little kid, this stuck with me because I was so embarrassed. I showed another kid how I pee how I pee on the dirt, right? And then I was like, look, it's like clay now. And I was like, you can make stuff with it. And I was like showing him how we can make like a cake or something with it, like how you can make it look like a cake. And yeah, he never wanted to hang out with me again. And I don't blame him. Looking back now, that was super weird. But I mean, I was like, what, 6, 7? I still remember that. I'm like, don't do that. Okay. That lesson stuck with me. Now, if we hang out, I promise I'm not going to pee in the sand and show you how to make a cake with it. I promise I won't do that. I've learned my lesson. But I've always been that kid where I would just feel more comfortable with the dogs. Because if I peed on the sand and started playing with it with the dog, a dog would be all in. He'll start pawing at it. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, hell yeah, they'll pee on it too. They'll pee on the sand. I'll make a bigger cake. We'll make a fucking 3-layer wedding cake. You know what I'm saying? With that with that Samoyed that I was hanging out with, Charlie, when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? No, his name was Bear. Sorry. His name was Bear. But yeah, Bear and we would have had a great time had I peed on the sand in front of Bear. So yeah, humans and dogs are just different, and I get along with dogs much better. So I've always been that kid that was skipping along in the woods, in the forest, with Disney songs running in my head, and everybody thinks that I think that I'm too good for them or something. It's like, no, I would love to hang out with you guys, but trust me, it's gonna get weird. I'm gonna do and say things that are really weird to you, but to a dog it'll be fine. That's why I hang out with dogs. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's up, Terry? How are you in sunny California? Anyways, um, yeah, so where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so I've always been that weird guy. I've always been. ever since I was a kid, and that's why I've always been an outcast. And I always thought it was other people's fault. I always kind of held resentment. Now I'm looking back at it clearly. I'm like, whoa, no, I'm a weird kid. I'm still that weird kid. It's still inside me. So it's okay. You're accepted, Jude. Thank you, Tara. You know what? Because you're a weirdo. That's what I'm saying. I created this YouTube channel hoping that I would attract other weirdos like you, Tara. Now you understand. You get me because you're a weirdo too. I love you. Anyways, I love the fact that you're weird. Why not be weird, right? Shoot. Why? We only have this one life, and it's pretty short if you think about it. Life at its longest, even if you live to 120 years old, it's pretty short in the grand scheme of things. It's pretty short. So why waste time being someone else or trying to act like someone else? This is me. Okay, so here's where I'm going with this. I am actually seriously considering moving to Alaska. And here's why. Because remember, yesterday I went through the whole thing about how I fired a lot of people, and I did apologize to a few people. I actually did. I sent them a text message and I told them I don't expect a response back because I know I don't deserve one. I just want you to know how terrible I feel, and I'm really sorry about how I treated you. It was totally unfair. Okay, okay, perfect. Sorry about that, guys. I got a phone call that came in and it knocked me off. Anyways, okay, morning, June. Okay, perfect. So, I'm really considering moving to Alaska. So I talked to my daughter about it, and my daughter Ava. I was like, "Hey, Ava, it's like, what would you think if I moved to Alaska?" And she was like, that would be kind of crazy. And I was like, yeah, but my dad's already there, and he doesn't do anything really. He's just in his apartment. And I was like, if I go move up there, my dad always talked about wanting to go fishing and hunting. He just never did it. It was just always a fantasy of his. And I was gonna grow up the same way. I was gonna always fantasize about going fishing and hunting someday. And I was never gonna do it, just like my dad. And I told my mom when I was talking to her last night, I was like, if I move up there, I'm definitely going to go out there hunting and fishing, and dad can just come with me. And then he can actually start doing the things that he always wanted to do. He just probably never did it because he doesn't know how, first of all. And it really does feel stupid. When I go out there and I'm trying to learn how to fish, trying to teach myself how to fish, and I'm trying to teach myself how to scout and hunt. I feel stupid sometimes when I make the stupidest mistakes. And when people watching my videos or something, they'll point out things that I'm doing that's just rookie mistakes. It does feel embarrassing. It does feel like, oh man, I feel stupid. Now they know I'm stupid. That feels even worse. It's better when I'm stupid and no one knows I'm stupid, but when I'm stupid and people know that, oh man, now it hurts. Um, even more. But yeah, I think that that's what's stopping my dad. I think that's what's stopping him from going out there and trying is the fear of failure, the fear of messing up and looking bad in front of others. I think that's what's stopping him. Luckily for me, I fell flat on my face with my business, publicly went out of business, very loudly, and I was so embarrassed. I wanted to just crawl up into a hole and just disappear. And I was so in debt. So I failed that. I was embarrassed, so embarrassed. Then my divorce, oh my god, the first thought that came into my mind that really like shook me, and this is so stupid because really it should have been, oh, my daughters, my family, like this is all how this is going to affect us. No, my first thought, because I'm an idiot, was, oh no, what are people going to think? Never mind that I'm miserable, never mind that I really don't enjoy um you know the dynamics that we were in. Never mind that. Never mind the fact that I was going to bed unhappy every night and just, oh my God, I was worried about what other people would think. I was like, oh no, people are going to think I'm a bad guy, because good guys don't get a divorce, right? Oh man, I thought I was a good guy, but I guess I'm not. Now everyone knows. And I failed my marriage, and I really prided myself on being a good husband and being a good father. I really did. It was like, it was my identity. It was like my new identity. I was like, I am a good husband. I'll do anything for my wife. And if I'm a good father. I'll do anything for my kids. And then to have that, just shattered right in front of me. And it was really tough. And I got angry. And then I went on Facebook one night because I was cooking myself dinner while drinking wine. And then I got a little bit too deep in that bottle of wine, and then I started coming up with some really brilliant ideas. At the time, it seemed so brilliant. So I was like, I'm gonna go on Facebook and I'm gonna call this bitch out. Oh man. And so then I was drunk walking my dogs here in my neighborhood, and I was on Facebook and I was just like, you fucking. And then people who had supported me on my YouTube channel for years and we had become Facebook friends, they were like, June, calm down. I was like, fuck you. Who the fuck are you? And I was like, what did I say? I was like, am I your fucking monkey? Should I fucking dance for you? Um, yeah. Oh, and so now you see why my daughter didn't want to talk to me for a while after that divorce. She called me a monster, and I was, and I am, and I'm trying to control that now. But anyways, I think that it's because I've gone through all of this. It gave me the courage to go out there and try hunting anyways. Go out there and try fishing. Even though I don't have anybody to help me, even though no one, I don't have anybody to go out there and show me what to do. I'll figure it out. And I figured if I die out there, I'm willing to. That's the only thing I have going for me. I don't have any knowledge or experience or know how any. I don't have any of that. I'm not even a smart guy, really. All I have going for me is my determination and my willingness to die doing what I love. And I've proven that to myself with dog grooming. I was grooming these two huskies. They lived in their backyards and they were in horrible condition, horrible shape. I don't groom them anymore. Well, one passed away. He got old, but I told him I can't do it anymore. But anyways, yeah, it was summertime. I only had one bottle of water, and then I had like an energy drink. I drank both, and I was so thirsty, but I had to get this work done, right? And I was exhausted. Anyways, that day when I finally got done, I told myself, let's see if it's possible to die while working. And I know it is, but I'm not talking about when you're forced to work and people are cracking the whip and you're forced to do it. No, I'm talking about when it's of your own choosing, when it's my decision to do it. Is it possible to die working too hard? And I don't know. Maybe it is, but that day, when I was done, I was shaking. My body was shaking. I was trembling. I was a dry heaving. I was like, my body wanted to throw up, but there was nothing to throw up. I felt lightheaded. My face went pale. I lost the color in my skin. I got to my car. I sat down, and I was trembling. And I told myself like, okay, I'm not dead. And I proved to myself that I was willing to, you know, because I felt like whatever your hands find to do, whatever work your hands find to do it with all your might, all your soul, everything you've got. That's what Jesus said. Because when we're done with this, with our time here, where we're going after this, there's no chance, you don't even have the opportunity to. Even if you wanted to put everything you have into something and work really hard at something, there's no opportunity to after this, where we're going next. That's what Jesus said. So whatever work your hands find to do it with all your might. Put everything into it. You know, why not? You're doing it anyways. Why not go all out, right? So where was I going with that? Okay, so I talked to my daughter and she was fine with it, and actually she's kind of excited. I was like, you can come up to Alaska and stay with me for a few months, like she was so excited. And she wants to see the northern lights, the aurora borealis, and I think there's like a somewhere in Alaska you can see it, right? You got to go up north a little bit more, but anyways, yeah, I'm kind of excited. And so because the thing is, I was thinking I can groom dogs anywhere. Grooming dogs, everyone in the world has a dog pretty much, in India they got gangs, they got dog gangs running the streets, I know Theo Vaughn was talking about a friend of his that's over in India right now, making a documentary. He's like 2 years deep in it, and there's like gangs of New York, it's dog gangs of India, but anyways, yeah, dog, everybody has a dog now, so I can go anywhere in the world. I actually proved that. Went out west, found a job like that, So yeah, I was thinking, what I really want to do is I want to go hunting. I want to go live outdoors. I want to camp outdoors, just survive out in the wilderness for maybe a week or two at a time. I want to go fishing, catch some of the fresh salmon out there. Like I want to. I want to interact with with nature, with this earth in a meaningful way while I still have some time here, you know? And it's never too late to reinvent yourself. Maybe I can be a hunter at 40 years old. Maybe I can be a skilled hunter, not a poacher, not a criminal who goes out there because they enjoy killing animals. Someone who goes out there because they see themselves as a steward of the forest. They see themselves as a protector of the fragile balance of that ecosystem. We're trying to keep that balance. That's how I want to see myself. That's how I want to be. And yeah, so that's why I'm gonna go to the archery range in just a little bit. After I finish this, I'm gonna take my dogs to the archery range and really practice, really hone down my skills because that's what I want to do. And I think that, and so I'm planning it. And here's the thing, however you envision yourself, right? Whatever it is, here's what I learned this when I first started grooming. I used to get nightmares of dogs chained up, viciously coming at me, pulling at their chains, and I had to groom that dog. Otherwise, I couldn't leave this room I was locked in. I would have those nightmares, and like I would feel so much anxiety. And I remember my mom told me it's because you're not confident yet. It's because you're scared, and your dreams are showing you that. And I remember somebody was talking about visualization. They were saying that if you can't see yourself doing something well, then you don't even have a chance. You first have to see it in your mind. You have to visualize yourself as the kind of person that's capable of doing whatever it is you're wanting to do. First, see yourself doing it and doing it well. What does that look like? How does that feel, right? And then you can actually do it. Once you see it in your mind, what is it? What you can see, oh yeah, whatever it is your mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve, right? I know it's cliche, but it's true. First, you have to conceive it, then believe it, then you can achieve it. And it's not easy to achieve it. I'm telling you, it's not easy, but you can do it as long as you have that faith, that belief in yourself that you can achieve the vision in your mind that you have in for yourself. And so I always saw myself as this jittery, nervous, insecure guy. It's time to reinvent myself. It's time to let that go. That was the child that I was. I'm 40 years old now. And when I'm out there in the wild, in the forest, there's no room for that kind of behavior. That that nervous, insecure, jittery behavior. There's no room for that out in the wild. I'll die out there if I do that. I realized that. I actually, the first time I went there, I almost was skipped in there until I got lost. And I realized I have no flashlight. I got no I have no compass. I have a compass now. I just keep on me at all times, just in case I get lost. But I had no compass. I had no flashlight. I had nothing. I had no water. I didn't even have a way to filter water. Now I have that utilities belt where I keep a canteen, a water filtration system. I got a multi-tool. I got my buck knife. I got a machete. I got a hatchet and an axe. You know what I'm saying? Like I go out there prepared now because now I realize how dangerous it is. You know, there's snakes out there that could bite you if you step in the wrong place. You can step on a slick piece of wood and you slip and fall, you could be done. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no cell phone service out there. I can't call nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. And there's usually nobody else out there, just me. And even if there was someone out there, usually those the wildlife management areas are like thousands of acres, big. And so even if there was another hunter on that property, chances are we'll never see each other. You know, so yeah, I realize how difficult and dangerous it is, and I got to become a more confident, self-confident, uh, brave, and intelligent person. I got to be more intelligent when I'm out there. I can't be making those stupid mistakes. It'll cost me my life. You know, I've been watching I Shouldn't Be Alive, and these are stories of people that do things like that. They go out there just thinking that they're gonna have a fun kayaking trip or something, and they get swept out into the ocean, and they gotta survive or stuff like that. Or these people go hiking just expecting a nice little day trip, and then they get lost and they get stuck out there, and they're surviving. So it's like, yeah, when you're out in the wild, when you're out in nature, any little slip up can cost you your life. And I realize that. But I'm willing to die out there alone. I think that's what gives me the edge. That's what gives me advantage, over other people who are not willing to go out there alone. I'm willing to go out there alone, and I'm willing to shake in fear, you know, and deal with it and get through it and become stronger, you know? That's it. And the thing is, I am getting people who offer me help now. This weekend, my neighbor here, he saw my Instagram post. He offered to take me fishing. He said he still doesn't know yet exactly his schedule, but if he has time, he's gonna take me fishing. He's gonna show me how to do it. It's like, but the thing is, had I sat around waiting, hoping and wishing that somebody like my neighbor would offer to help me, I'd probably never go out and do it because nobody has time. No, everybody's busy. But I think that when people see me go out there and try and mess up and then try again and still mess up and then just keep trying, they see that I'm willing to work hard. They see that I'm willing to put in the effort. I just don't know what to do. Then much more willing to offer me their help because people don't like to waste their time, and most people are a waste of time. I just got to be honest. Most people don't want you to help them. They just want you to listen to their problems, or they want you to do it for them, whatever it is. They want you to do it for them, or if they're coming to you with their problems, they don't really want you to solve it because if you solved it, what would they complain about? That's what they like to do. They like to complain. If you solve their problems for them, now they're going to be upset with you because they can't complain about that anymore. Oh, now they're gonna complain about you, how you go around fixing everyone's problems. But most people are a waste of time because they don't want your help. They want you to do it for them. I was at a coin laundry one time and I was so frustrated because here I am doing my laundry and everything, and this lady comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, can you help me? Can you show me how to do it?" I was like, "Oh yeah." At first, I wasn't frustrated. I'm not frustrated when someone comes and asks me for help. That's not what frustrated me. I was like, "Yeah, of course. What do you need help with?" And she was like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, okay, well, you want to separate your whites and your colors. I was like, you don't want to put them together. So put your colors on in one washing machine and put your whites in another. Whites are hot, colors cold. And I was like, you can use bleach on the whites, don't use bleach. And this lady is older. She's like, she should know all this. But obviously she doesn't. I'm not going to blame her. I don't know what her life situation is. So I was just being helpful. I was just trying to explain how to do her laundry. And I was like, you put the coins here. And she wanted me to do it. She's like, can you do it? Can you do it? And I was like, no, I got my own laundry to do. And I got to meditate. I'm a Zen master. I'm not sure if you understand how important meditation is for me, but I have to meditate. I got to breathe. I can't be helping. I can't be doing your laundry for you. Um, so did you see my journal I'm writing in? I got things to do. You know, so I was like, no, I'm not going to do it for you. But I'm willing to show you what to do, but I'm not going to do it for you. And so she got upset and she goes over to another lady, right? And she goes and she pulls the same thing on that lady, right? And that lady at first, she's like, oh, yeah, yeah, do this, do this, do this. And then she's like, can you do it? Can you do it? And so that lady gets upset, right? She ain't having it. And she was like, bitch, you do that shit. She was like, you think everybody. Anyways, but yeah, because people don't like that. I don't like that. And so most people are like that. When they're asking you for, can you help me with this? They're really wanting you to do it for them. And most people, they don't want to get involved in all that. But when they see someone like me going out and trying, like if I saw her sticking the colors and the whites together, maybe I would have went over there and said, hey, you really don't want to do that. Here, let me help you. And I got to see you do something. You can't just ask me to do everything. I got to see some effort on your part. This okay. So when I failed my business, right? When I failed my first business, that's when I met my first mentor. The marketing genius. He was my client. He saw me work so hard. He saw me put everything into it, and he saw me go out of business. And he wanted to help me because he saw that I was willing to work hard. I just needed some guidance. But he would have never sought me out. He would have never offered me his help had he not seen that, right? So going out and messing up, going out and trying your best and failing is sometimes your best bet of succeeding, of meeting that person that's going to help you succeed. They need to see that first. They need to see that effort first. So go out there and fail first. Fail hard, right? And then go out there and fail again and keep trying and show that you are determined and you are a hard worker. You're willing to put in the effort, right? You just need some guidance. You just need to know what to do. Now my neighbor, Steve, after he saw me fumbling around so much on Instagram, he's like, I need to help this guy. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I think I have some time this weekend. Let me take you out there and get you on some fish. He even asked me, he was like, what's your goal? He was like, are you just trying to catch and release, or are you trying to catch food? And I told him, I want the exhilaration. I want that experience of pulling a fish out of the water because I've never caught a fish before. I've caught my older brother before when we were younger. He caught a fish, and I'm swinging the thing. I'm like trying so hard, and then one time I cast, and it stuck. I'm like, why? What? And I hear, ow, 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 and I look, and my freaking hook is caught in my brother's lip. He's like, oh, my older brother. My parents freaked out. I mean, they're trying to get it out and everything, and fishing trip was over after that, of course. And we're walking back to the car, and my brother's pissed at me. I mean, he is so angry at me, and my parents joking around about how I caught the biggest fish did not make it any better. But yeah, that's the only thing I've ever caught is my older brother, and I totally would have filleted him up, cooked him. But no, I wouldn't have. He wouldn't have tasted any good, anyways. Anyway, but yeah. So don't joke around about cannibalism. But yeah, where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. So my neighbor's about to help me fish. Okay. So my plan is I still have uh, I still have enough clients, and they're wonderful. They're the ones that stuck with me, even though I was going through my own shit. And I did apologize, especially to the clients who stuck with me even after I acted like an asshole. I really did apologize, and I wanted them to know I really appreciate them. So what I'm thinking about doing is, once I actually make my final decision whether or not I'm gonna move to Alaska or not, what I'm gonna do is just try. I'm not gonna take any more new clients, of course, and then with the clients that I do have, I'm gonna let them know, a time frame, like next spring of 2022, maybe in April, I'm gonna be moving to Alaska, and then just kind of maybe help transition, maybe, teach them more on how to comb their own dogs so that they can avoid getting their dogs shaved by other groomers. Because let's face it, the only reason why I'm their groomer is because I'm the only one that, is willing to do what it takes to not shave their dogs because their dogs are matted. And it takes a long time, a lot of effort, a lot of trust, mutual trust between the dog and myself. I can't do it with the dog that doesn't trust me and that isn't willing to work with me. I can't do it. You just got to shave that dog down then. But once I gain the dog's trust, I build rapport and the dog trusts me. The dog is not scared of me. He knows that even though what I'm doing does hurt, it is gonna feel better when I'm done. He's already in pain. Those mats and all that stuff and all the junk clogging those pores, it's already bothering them. It's already hurting them. So when I go through and I comb all that out and work all that out a little bit at a time, gently, takes about 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours. And then I finish the haircut in about an hour, in about 45 minutes. But I can get the haircut done in 45 minutes. It takes 3 or 4 hours to get the dog dematted so I can give him a nice haircut. Who's gonna do that? I can't think of anyone, and I would feel guilty if I asked anyone else to do it. If I asked any of my friends to do it who are groomers, I would feel guilty because it's just too much work to ask of someone. And that's the first time I realized what it is I'm doing is when I thought about hiring somebody, how much would I have to pay them to ask them to do what I do? And even if I did pay them $15 an hour, it still wouldn't be enough. I would feel bad asking them to do all that. And then I was thinking, that's what got me upset actually. I was thinking, don't my clients feel bad? Don't they feel ashamed of themselves? You know, month after month, year after year, I'm going and I'm spending when the dogs that have like the houses that have 2 or 3 dogs, I'm spending 10, 12 hours there at their house to groom their dogs, for what? For $100, for $125, you know, each. So yeah, it is a pretty good day, but I put in like 10, 11 hours, you know. I don't know. I was just thinking like if it was me and that was my dog and a groomer came in every month and he sweat his ass off, he's drenched in sweat, and then he gives my dog a beautiful haircut every month. He does that. I think I would start to feel bad for him. I think I would start to feel ashamed of myself a little bit. I would probably think to myself, what can I do to help you out a little bit? Can I comb my dog maybe once a week? Would that help? Yes, anything would help. You know what I'm saying? Anything would help. You not touching your dog with the comb and just petting them all the time, that's not helping me at all. You know? And you just brushing, getting a slicker brush and just brushing the top coat and making separating the hairs, making it look nice, that's not helping me at all. It's not saving me any time. I need to get in there, skin level, down to the skin with a metal comb and comb that shit out. That's what I need. And that would help me out. That would save me hours because it's being done regularly once a day. And I even asked some of them, I was like, why is this all on me? I see your dog once a month, maybe once every 6 weeks. Why is this all my responsibility when you live with your dog? This is your dog. Why don't you comb them? You know? So actually, now that I think about it, I'm not sorry that I fired all those clients. I'm not. I'm only sorry about the way I did it. That's it. I'm done. And I was even thinking when I moved to Alaska, nobody knows me, right? Nobody's gonna know who I am up there. So I could just go and just shave dogs like everyone else. You know what I'm saying? I created this brand, June the Groomer. I created this service as something unique and a different option than what's out there. Nobody else in Atlanta that I know of is offering this service that I do, you know, where I comb your dog out for 3, 4 hours, make sure they're all nice and soft and all the hair is healthy, live hair, and they feel so silky and smooth. I mean, literally, your hand just gets, oh my God, I just want to keep petting them afterwards. They feel so soft and silky. This matted dog before. And then and 5, 6 weeks is about the time it takes for the dog to get matted again. How long can you go without combing your own hair before it gets all tangled? Maybe a week, right? So I go, hold on, what was I talking about? What was I just saying? But yeah, I mean, okay, so yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do this anymore when I go to Alaska because it's not fair to me, it's not fair to the dogs. And then when I start to build up resentment and I blow up on the client for being an irresponsible dog owner and I'm covering up their neglect and they're not even showing that much appreciation for everything I'm doing for them, I blow up. And so I'm going to stop this cycle. And when I go to Alaska, I'm just going to work for somebody because I'm not an entrepreneur by heart. I'm not by nature, I'm not an entrepreneur. I I'm what you call an intrapreneur. I feel much better working, not being the decision maker, not being the guy that writes the check for everything. I don't want all that admin and everything. I just want to go to work, do my work, and leave. That's all I really want to do, and go hunting and fishing and live my life. I don't want to be bogged down with my own business where I never get to stop working because it's my business and I'm always on. I can't enjoy other things in my life. I don't want that. I never really wanted that. So if I think about it, had I not failed my first business, I would be in a mental prison right now if that business succeeded. I'm glad it failed. So yeah, when I go to Alaska, my plan is to just get a job at any local grooming salon, right? Just be their groomer. And I'm just gonna put my head down and start shaving dogs. I don't care anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then if somebody does want that elevated service, that unique service where I go to their home and I comb their dog out and I give them a really nice fluffy haircut, then I can start doing the house call on the side as well up in Alaska. Find a few rich people up there, groom their dogs for them in their homes on my days off. And then, yeah, and then just spend the rest of my time camping, hiking, fishing out there in the great outdoors in Alaska. What better place? You know, that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do because I guess one can argue that I could do that here in Georgia. I could just get a job at one of my friend's salons and just start shaving dogs down there. Make them look cute, of course. Make them like nice little cute head, nice fluffy tail, but then the rest of them are shaved. Q-tip style. But I make nice Q-tips. But yeah, I think that's what I could do that here, right? And then just keep going camping and hiking here in Georgia with my dogs. I could do that, but I just don't feel good about it. It would almost feel like June the groomer tried something and then he failed and now he's just here doing this. I don't know. I just feel weird about it. Like, and also, this house we've been in for like 30 years now. My mom really wants to sell it, but she doesn't want to sell it as long as my brother and I are staying here in Georgia. But my brother is he's saying like he'll move if he has to, up to Alaska because my mom keeps wanting him to go up to Alaska because the air is fresher up there. She's hoping that he'll get out and exercise more, go outdoors and walk, and maybe take better care of his body, get healthier. For me, I told my mom I can't move to Alaska. My business is here. All these people here in Atlanta are counting on me. I felt like a loyalty to them, but I realized it was false. It was all fake, you know? They were only being nice to me because they knew I was the only person that wasn't going to shave their dog down like an alpaca. You know what I'm saying? They don't want their dog to look like an alpaca with all those shaved lines. So they hire me. And because I do a really good job and I stay there till like 9, 10 p.m. sometimes working, and I think that they just knew, how are we going to find somebody else to do this? Nobody's going to replace this guy, you know, because it's insane to do what I do. It's fucking crazy. It's hard work, extremely, incredibly hard, unbelievably hard. But it was worth it to me because I was helping the dogs, and I thought I was helping the owners, and I thought they appreciated me. But really, they just appreciated the convenience. So, and that's okay. That's how people are. Human beings, we're selfish creatures. We really are. When it comes down to it, we really are selfish creatures, and that's just our nature. And I have to accept that. Me too. So if it's okay for them, if it's okay for my clients to be selfish, and I understand and accept that, why isn't it okay for me to be selfish? Right? I mean, it has to go both ways, right? So I am going to, yeah, I'm really thinking about it. I'm really considering it. I talked to my daughters about it already. I talked to my mom. She's up in Alaska, and she was so happy. She was saying like, "I thought you would never change your mind." She was saying that, if I decided to move up there with her, with my mom and dad, she was saying that she would feel so what is the word in English? Taken care of, I guess. She would feel safer, I guess. She said like she would feel like she had somebody that she can count on because I was always that son for her, you know? I remember when I ran away from home and I finally got caught and I came back and my mom and I stayed up all night talking. I remember I told her like I always tried so hard to please you. Why were you always so mean to me and so hard on me? And you always buy my older brother, who's a fucking loser, and he's just like, why did you always buy him new backpacks for school when I needed one? And new shoes all the time. And he would get everything, new computers. And she said, well, because he asked. You never asked for stuff. I was like, well, how could I ask for stuff when I know your situation? Like, I'm always helping you out with the bills and it's like and you're always, like they're always telling me about how stressed they are because, this and that and money's tight. And I was like, when I hear all this and I know all this, how can I ask you for things? He asked you for things because he's inconsiderate, you know? And she was like, well, you just never asked, so we never got you anything. And she told me, you were always the good kid. You were always the one I could count on. When I come home, rice is made, dishes are done, Even when I would get mad and tell her I can't, I have homework, I don't have time for that, and I would get mad and yell, I told her I'm not doing it, I would still do it. And she said that that's why we would always butt heads, because my brother was always like, oh, yeah, yeah, I got you, no problem. I got you, fam. And it wouldn't get done. With me, I'm like, nah, man, fuck. Why you always asking me to do shit? Like, I got so much on my plate. I'm not doing it. And then I feel bad and I do it. And so she was like, you were always the one that would tell me no and give me all these problems and argue with me. But then when I come home, everything's done, like I asked. And she was like, so you were always that kid that I could rely on. You were the responsible one. I knew you were going to be fine. She was like, I knew I didn't have to worry about you. But your brother, I had to worry about. He can't take care of him. He's a mess up. She's like, you know that. She's like, that's why he spent more time and energy and focus on him, not you. And I told her that's kind of like rewarding the bad behavior and punishing the good. And I was like, why do you think what do you think broke me and made me want to smoke cigarettes and hang out with all these bad kids and then run away from home and I was never going to come back. And I ran with the wrong crowd for a while. And I was like, what do you think made me do that? It's because I felt like fuck it. What's the point of being good when the bad kids get rewarded anyways, and the good kids get punished for being good? That's when I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna be bad too then. And that wasn't a good choice. But yeah, that's kind of where it was. But anyways, my mom has always been able to count on me. And she said that if I move up to Alaska with them, she wouldn't worry about a thing. Who do I owe more loyalty to? My clients here in Atlanta who don't comb their dogs out for me and they watch me fucking just slave away for 5, 6 hours on their dogs, and then they take forever to pay me. I have to remind them to pay me. Do I owe them my loyalty or do I owe my mom my loyalty? And she actually is saying that she really would love it if I was up there with her. I think the answer is pretty clear and simple. And I think I already know what I'm going to do. Let me catch up on some of these here. Let's see. Terry K. Didn't Alaska just have an earthquake? I have no idea. But that would be pretty exciting. I mean, I don't think I would enjoy it, but it would be an experience, right? I want all the experiences here on Earth. You know what I'm saying? Just like if I went to a symphony and they only played the flutes and the violins and the clarinets, I'd say, don't rip me off. Don't rob me of the full experience. Give me the banging and clashing of the percussion. Give me the low notes of the cello and the bass. I can handle it. I don't want just the high notes. Give me everything. Give me all of it. I'm here for everything. I want the whole experience, you know? So, yeah, earthquake, probably not something that I would enjoy, and probably I could die in it, but still, that's what I'm here for. I'm here on earth for the full experience. Give it to me. Don't hold back. Okay. Tara says, if you're considering that, I have a friend you should meet, Brent Henderson. He hunts up there. He's an outdoorsman. Get me in touch with Brent. Get me in touch with Brent. I think Brent and I would get along amazingly. Miguel Garcia. What's up, Miguel? You are amazing. You are an amazing guy. Thank you. I know, right? That's what I do. When people compliment me, I just make it so, so disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Just so rude. And that way I make them regret it. That way nobody compliments me because I feel uncomfortable with compliments. Okay. Alan, you're gonna, whatever. Ramona says, I agree. Okay. Go out there and fail. Exactly. 80s fan JK. Go out there and fail. Exactly. Why are we so scared of failure? Do we think we're gonna die? I mean, you could. You could. Depends on what you fail at. But I mean, who cares? You're gonna die anyways. We're all gonna die anyways. Why are we so scared to die? Like living day to day is so great. Like this life is so wonderful. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is. It has times and the struggle and the difficulty, it makes it rewarding, of course. Life is hard. Life is difficult because life is meant to be rewarding. And easy is not rewarding. So I get it. But are we really gonna miss Netflixing every night? Are we really gonna miss all the drama that goes on with between people? All the fighting, the politics, you know? Are we really gonna miss this shit? I'm not. That's why I'm not scared to die out there. I mean, I am, to be honest, but I'm willing to. That's the thing. It does scare me, but I'm willing to put myself out there and do it anyways. I'm willing to die. That's why when I went out there in the pitch black night on my canoe, I was scared to death. I was shaking. And when I finally decided to get out of there, I could not row fast enough. I'm like, oh my God, I could just like picture this river monster right behind me, grabbing at me. And my hairs in the back of my neck were standing up. And as soon as my canoe like landed, I ran out of there because I was so scared. But that's the thing though. I have to keep putting myself in those situations where I'm scared to death, and I do it anyways because then it gets easier and easier the next time. Not easy, just a little easier. Because I'm strengthening that muscle. I'm working out that courage muscle. Courage is a muscle and we have to exercise it. Grand style pet grooming. You got this. Yeah, I know. And I think I'm gonna love my new life in Alaska. I think I'm gonna love it. Everything in my life has been building up to this when I really think about it. And things not working out here, and all of a sudden, thing like me meeting that crazy lady and going through a hell week with her, and then blowing up and firing all my clients. And now I'm in this situation where, like, oh no, I'm really tight financially. I got a really budget now. I do have money coming in. My bills are being paid, but one at a time. We can do everything. We know we can do anything we want, but we can't do everything we want, right? We got to pick and choose and prioritize, right? So right now, I'm just, prioritizing my bills. And I'm in the situation where, like, do I get another job? Do I work at a friend's salon? What do I do? And then I thought about it. I was like, what's stopping me from moving to Alaska now? There's nothing stopping me now. I mean, yeah, I do have a few clients who really did show me that they do appreciate me, they do value me, because even when I went off and I acted out of character, they knew it was out of character. They understood that I was going through something, that I was hurt and I was angry, and they gave me a pass. And so for those people that I'm still grooming for, I really do want to make an effort to show them how to groom their own dogs the way I do. And if they're doing it every day, a little bit every day, it's not going to take them 5, 6 hours in one day, because they're not going to be doing it once every 6 weeks like me. They're going to be doing it a little bit each day. So if you're doing a little bit each day, you're combing out the feet one day, really good. And then the legs, and then you do the body, the torso one day, and then you do the tail, and then you do the head, and then you repeat. The next week you do the feet again. Because when you comb out one area thoroughly, it's not like it's gonna tangle back up in a few days. Because the reason why it tangles up, the dead, damaged, dry hair that acts like Velcro and just, bunches up together, that's all combed out. So now there's nothing to mat up. The healthy hair doesn't do that. The healthy live hair, they're sealed, they have oils, they're soft, they're silky. They don't do that. So when you comb out your dog's feet really well, a Shih Tzu, a Lhasa, a Bichon, whatever, any dog that has long hair, you comb out their feet really well one day, guess what? The next few days, you're pretty good, you know? And so you can comb out the feet one day, legs one day, the body one day, the head and tail the next day, and then go back to the feet. It's not even going to be that hard because not enough hair has grown back in yet, and not enough hair has died yet for it to get that bad in a few days, you know? So I'm gonna really try to make an effort. Each appointment I go to from now on, I'm gonna really try to make it educational, like a one-on-one, how to properly care for your long-haired dog's skin and coat. Because their skin is most important. The hair is not. The skin is the hair factory. The skin makes the hair. So as long as the skin is healthy and is functioning properly, it's gonna create beautiful hair. But when the pores are all jam-packed full of cellular debris, old sebaceous oils, um, bundles of dead, dried hair, and it's all packed up inside those pores. Well, guess what? Now it's not growing new healthy hair. You know what I'm saying? And now you're gonna have a dog that's all it's rough, itchy, flaky, matted. So yeah, I'm gonna teach my clients what I do. I mean, it's not like I haven't showed on YouTube. It's not like I don't put it out there. It's not like it's some secret. I share it all the time. I realize it's not that people don't get what I do. It's that they don't want to, and I get it. I don't want to either. It's the part of the groom that I hate, but it's the part of the groom that I need to do in order to get to the part that I like, which is the haircut. You know? Okay. Lee Raleigh, giving your clients ample notice is a great idea. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why I'm really thinking about it now. I'm thinking, okay, if I'm gonna plan moving out there in the spring, then maybe I should tell my clients around now. And then each time I go, we'll really hands-on, one-on-one. Or maybe I'll just film it and show them if they're not available to be there with me. If they're busy working or something, maybe I'll just film it for them and really show them what I'm doing. That way they can do it themselves, or at least comb their dogs out properly so they can take their dog to any groomer in town who can give their dog a really nice haircut. I'm not the only person that can do nice haircuts. A lot of these groomers are actually more talented than me. They can give such good haircuts. A lot of these groomers actually go and compete in these shows, and at the grooming trade shows. So it's not the haircut. It's the dematting and combing out. It's the 3, 4 hours of sweat. My elbows hurt. Oh my God. My elbows still hurt. I blew my elbows out. My wrists hurt. Like my shoulder used to hurt so bad. It was to the point where I couldn't lift it. I was taking CBD oils. It's like, yeah, of course no other groomer's gonna do it. It's ridiculous to ask them. So, but they are able to do incredibly fantastic haircuts as long as your dog is maintained properly. As long as you're combing your dog out on a regular basis, these groomers here in town can give your dog a wonderful haircut, you know, better than mine, even. The only thing that separates me from them is I'm willing to put the 4 or 5 hours in of sweat and torture. It's not torture on the dog, it's torture on me. The dog's usually laying there comfortable, and he's so appreciative. They're so appreciative of getting that junk out of the skin because they're no longer itchy anymore. I'm clearing it out for them. So the dogs are fine. It's torture on me. Um, let's see. Um, Ramona says, I'm in Illinois, but always have wanted to move to Alaska. Nice. Yeah. It's like we really need to get rid of the word someday. Have you ever heard of that place, Someday Isle? It's a beautiful island that we all go to, you know, whenever we graduate from high school or college and we have all these hopes and dreams. We move to this island called Someday Isle. Someday I'll do this and someday I'll do that. That's what I was doing. But no, it's like it's never too late to reinvent yourself. And the good news is our dreams don't have an expiration date. Your dreams, they don't go bad. They don't have an expiration date. They'll never rot. So it's never too late to pull out your book of dreams and go after one. Don't tell yourself someday I'll do it. Do it today. Do it now. Or plan. Make a plan today. How about that? You don't have to do anything today, but you can at least start to plan it out today, right? um, Ramona says, June, that is why you're the hardworking man you are. Everything brought you to where you are. You're raising your vibration. Good for you. Exactly. And I think that's what when I go through those wildlife management areas, there's no trail. It's just solid wood and brush, and you just walk in there. You just pick an area, you walk in there. There's no entrance, there's no trails. And when I make Georgia is very ridgy. It's a series of like little mountains, small mountains, ridges all over some of these wildlife management areas. It is so up and down. And so when I finally make it up a ridge, so I can get to the high point and I can look around and kind of see where I want to scout next and kind of just observe the wildlife and see where the activity is going on. Whenever I make it to the top of a ridge, I feel so proud of myself, and it is so difficult and it is so dangerous. But I realize all my life, what I've been doing, working so hard, has prepared me for this. It's not like something I'm not used to. I'm used to pushing myself to the limit, you know? So I can go out there and do this. It's like everything, like Ramona, you're right. Everything in my life has been preparing me for this moment, for my great adventure in Alaska. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna freaking hunt. um, let's see. Tara says, I would love to live almost anywhere, but Illinois. It's the people though. Nice, Tara. Ramona says, haha, same here. That's awesome. She lives in Illinois. Oh man. You know what though? Dr. Wayne Dyer, I remember he was talking about this story where this wise man, in town. A lady comes up to him and says, hey, how are the people here? We just moved into this area. How are the people in this town? And he asks her, well, where you come from? How are the people there? And she says, oh man, I'm so glad to get away. They're just rude and considerate. People cut you off, like nobody cares. And I just hate people up there. And he says, well, I'm really sorry to tell you, but you're gonna pretty much find the same thing here, right? And then another person comes up to that old, wise old man, and they say, sir, what is it like here in this town? We just moved here. And he says, well, where do you come from? What is it like? And he says, oh man, we're really gonna miss that place. The people are just so kind and caring, and we love that place. And just people are generous and, loving. And he says, oh, you're gonna find about the same here. So the point is, my dad, when he first moved to Alaska, he kept complaining because he doesn't leave the apartment. He doesn't do anything, you know. He's like, I want to move back, you know. And my aunt, she's always complaining about stuff. She moved to Korea because she didn't like it here. She's like, Korea's so much better. Everything. She goes to Korea, she's complaining constantly about how America's so much better, and she really liked her job better here. She got paid better here and all this stuff. So she comes back here for a little bit. Oh no, it's just so hard. You know, Korea's better. So she goes back to Korea. Now she wants to go to Alaska with my parents. And I was like, hmm. The interesting lesson there is no matter where you go, there you are. It doesn't matter where you go. It could be a new location, but if you're the same miserable person, no matter where you go, you take yourself with you, right? So that's what I'm saying. Is like, yeah, I'm I'm in a place where I love the people here in Georgia. You know, my neighbor Steve, he's gonna help me. You know, I got a friend in Tennessee named Hunter. You know, he's always open to help me if you know whenever we can coordinate our times. He's busy, I'm busy, but he's always giving me. I can always ask him. I can text him. I actually took a picture of the bait at Walmart yesterday. I sent it to him. I was like, all they have is red worms. They don't have any Canadian night crawlers. And he texted me back. He was like, go to a bait shop. You know, like the red worms are too small. You know, they're just too small and skinny. You want to get the big Canadian night crawlers. And so I texted him back. Oh, I was like, oh, the red worms are the Asians of the worm community. The red worms, they're the Asians of the worm world. And he laughed. But yeah, I love that he gets my joke. He gets my humor. But yeah, I mean, I've gotten to the point where, yeah, I feel like no matter where I go, I could be happy. You know, when I go to Alaska, it doesn't even scare me. Like, I'm just gonna go and just go to different grooming shops, apply, start working at one, ask for maybe 3 days off a week. You know, I'll work 4 days on, 3 days off. In those 3 days, I'll take my dogs out to the, you know, forest and the mountains of Alaska. Oh my God, hiking, camping, fishing. And you know, some of those documentaries I saw, the salmon jumping out of the water, it seems like if I go at the right time of year, I could just go there with my net, just catch them right out of the water. You know what I'm saying? And I hope a bear does try me. You know what I'm saying? I hope a bear does try me. Shoot, I'll rip that bear's mouth apart, my bear. um, let's see here. Lee Rally. Every region has its weather. I've been in some big ones, and they are terrifying but inevitable. The biggest one was 7.2. Yeah, Lee. Give it to me. I've never been in an earthquake before. I'm missing out. It says, I'm no longer afraid to die anymore. It would be a relief in so many ways. But Lee, don't end it early. Don't take yourself out of the game before it's over, right? Let's see how your story ends. Your life is a movie, right? You're the star. Let's see how it ends. Don't cut the movie short. You know what I'm saying? I'm invested, Lee. I've been watching. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't go nowhere, Lee. Seriously. And if you do, give me a call. You know what I'm saying? Um, Lee says, I spent a summer in Alaska. I'd love to go back. Lee, when I move up there, you'll have a reason to go back. Ramona says, the life of our soul growth. I don't fear death. Exactly. I don't fear death. I fear the dark. I fear the dark forest. I fear the dark lake and river, but I don't fear dying in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know why I'm scared, really. I'm scared because I've seen too many scary movies. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's see. Terry K says, I think there's more pros than cons to moving to Alaska. Terry, if you agree, I'm in. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. You know how much Terry has generously given me over the past couple of weeks? Like I don't want to make her uncomfortable, but Terry, just know I'm never going to forget your kindness because I'm not used to it. You know, I'm not used to people just being nice to me like that for no reason, you know, like and I offered to give you something back. I offered to, you know, try to return and it's like, wow, you did it just to be kind. All right. Sorry, I don't want to get emotional. Um, Lee says, "Yay, awesome." Terry K says, "You look so happy talking about your plans." Because I finally feel like I'm taking charge of my life now. I'm actually living on purpose, living with purpose, you know, living with intention, planning what I want to do next, not just going with the cross fingers approach to life. I hope it works out. you know, I sure hope things will change for the better. It's not going to change for the better. It's always going to change for the worse unless you plan for it to change for the better and you work for it. You make it change for the better, because change is inevitable, right? So in 5 years from now, you will arrive. The question is where. You know what I'm saying? 5 years from now, I will be there. The question is where, right? And if I don't plan it out, if I don't chart a course and plan out a destination and chart out a roadmap to where I'm going, guess what? I'll end up anywhere. And the fact is, chances are I'm not gonna like where I end up. You know what I'm saying? A ship out in the ocean, just going with wherever the sea blows it, it's usually gonna end up crashed on the side of a rock somewhere. Like, yeah, you need to chart a course, And Jim Rohn, he said something I really like. He says, you cannot control the wind, and the wind blows on us all, you know, the wind of debt, the wind of disappointment, the wind of failure. The storms of our lives come to all of us. It rains on the rich and the poor. Problems are not special gifts reserved just for the poor. The rich have problems too, and their problems are problems that money can't even solve. They've got pretty serious problems. Not that poor people's problems are not serious either, but poor people's problems are usually able to be fixed with money. Rich people problems, money can't. In fact, rich people problems, the more money they throw at the problem, the worse it gets. So everyone's got problems. So Jim Rohn says, don't wish for a better wind and don't wish that the wind doesn't blow. Learn to set a better sail. That way, no matter which way the wind's blowing, no matter how the wind is blowing, you can still get to where you're going because you now know how to set a better sail. Don't depend on the wind. Don't depend on circumstances. Depend on your inner strength, your inner skills, the experiences, the talents, the skills that you've developed during your life. Rely on that, develop that, and that way, no matter what happens, you can still navigate your way through this life. Let's see. Ramona says, yes, you're being good to yourself. I'm working on that for myself as well. It's never too late, Ramona. It's never too late. And a good question is, how long will you wait before you actually start to do the things that you know you were put here on this earth to do? I imagine you're here for a reason, Ramona, right? I imagine that you have a purpose here in life, that you weren't just a random act of just blind luck. And now this person named Ramona is here. I like to think that you're here for a reason. There's a purpose for your existence. And you know deep down what it is. No one else can tell it to you. You know deep down what your purpose is, why you're here on this earth, what your unique experience is supposed to be, you know? And Napoleon Hill said something I really like. He said, the wear and tear of living, because I'm telling you, man, right? It hurts. The wear and tear of living is not worth the price we pay for it. Lee will tell you, shoot, Lee had a struggle with her knees, surgery. The wear and tear of living is not worth the price we pay for it unless we're actually going for something, unless we're actually making progress towards something that's meaningful to us, unless we're actually making something of our time here so that our suffering and our pain and everything that we've been through was not in vain. It wasn't for nothing. Let's make it mean something that we were here, that we suffered, that we went through heartache and pain and disappointment and difficulty, that it was worth it. It meant something to me. It's valuable. My experience is valuable, and so is yours. Like life is painful and it's full of heartache and it's full of disappointment. Jordan Peterson, Jordan Peterson said it best. He said, he said that the life is a terrible, terrible privilege. And it is. It's a terrible privilege that we have to live this life. And Lee says, yep, one misstep changed my whole life. Exactly. And isn't that a great analogy, a great metaphor for life? I mean, Like going into the forest, going into the wilderness and hunting and doing that. Isn't that a great metaphor for life, Lee? Because like I said, it's beautiful. The forest is so beautiful. Nature is so breathtakingly beautiful. I mean, I just stand there in awe sometimes. And I want to take a picture, but the picture doesn't even do it justice. So I put the phone back in my pocket. But that's just like life, right? It's beautiful. And sometimes it'll take your breath away, but it's also difficult and dangerous. And one slight mistake, one misstep can not only change your whole life, but it could end your life. Same thing out in the forest, same thing out in real life in the world, you know? Even if you're even if you never go into the forest ever and you don't go hiking and all that, you just have an office job, you have a city life. There's still a lot of metaphors to be drawn from going out there into the wilderness and living your day-to-day cubicle life. It's still the dangers are still there. But the beauty's still there too, right? Let's see here. Ramona says, read The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Oh my goodness. Ramona, you and Lee would be great friends. Lee, on her Facebook page, every day she's sharing a quote from Don Miguel Ruiz. The Four Agreements. I actually, I didn't read the whole book, but I did read some of it and bits and parts, and I do like, and I read a summary of the Four Agreements, what the Four Agreements are. I'm 100% on board. I love it. Let's see here. Ramona says, yes, I believe that we all have a unique purpose. I also believe that those we cross paths with are not by accident. Exactly. It is not an accident that you are here right now and we're chatting. You know, I was actually thinking, like, I don't want to, maybe I shouldn't stream. Well, because I just did yesterday and the day before. I streamed for 3 hours yesterday. I was like, oh man, it's just too much. Like, I was thinking to myself, I'm not going to do it. But then I was thinking to myself, I really want to talk about this though. I really want to share this because this is something that's going to be a big change in my life. It's going to be a huge change in my life. I'm reinventing myself. And I wanted to talk about how I'm 40 years old. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. My dad is in his 60s, almost 70, and he's too scared to go out there and do the things he's always wanted to do. Why do you think he's in Alaska? It was always his dream to move to Alaska and experience the great outdoors, go fishing, hiking, hunting. He won't do it though, because it's scary. And you don't and it is scary to go out there and not know what you're doing. So I'm gonna move up there and I'm gonna take my dad out with me, a 70-year-old man. Yeah, he might go out there and die. Yeah, I might have pre-planned that. Yeah, not scary. No, but I mean, I'm not gonna take him out like hunting on a hard trek or anything, but maybe just hiking with my dogs. Just get him out there, and we'll go hunting. I mean, hiking with my dogs, maybe camping, and then fishing. Because it doesn't matter if you're 70 years old, you can still fish. So yeah, I'm gonna go and try to at least mend up my relationship with my dad because as a child, my goal was to grow up one day to become strong enough to fuck him up. That was my goal, my life goal. Like I really thought that that was my purpose here on earth was to one day grow up to be strong enough to kill that man because I saw him as a monster when I was a kid. I witnessed him fuck my mom up on several occasions. I couldn't do anything to help. I couldn't stop him because I was too small, and he would hit me too. Um, he was the first person that knocked me out, punched me right in my stomach, and I got knocked out, cold, unconscious. I remember one time he was banging on the bathroom door so hard, trying to kick it down because I had it locked because I was running away from him. And he kept kicking it and trying to break it down. I remember I just lost it. I erupted. I was 8 or 9 at the time, and I started screaming every curse word I ever heard at him. I turned into a monster because here's a monster trying to kill me. So I let my monster out. Maybe he created it. I don't know. But yeah, I started banging on the door with him. I started punching the door and I started kicking it and I started cursing at him. Every curse word in the book. And I was telling him how much of a piece of shit he is. And I was like, you motherfucker, you don't think I'm going to kill you one day? And then he stopped. And suddenly the banging stopped. But anyways, I remember when I was 18, he came home one day early in the morning after being out all night drinking with his friends and probably sleeping with one of the, females there. He comes home and gets on the massage machine. And my mom was crying all night. And so I go downstairs and I lean over him and I say, "So when you sleep with other women, your back hurts?" And he opens his eyes and he gets up. He's like, "What?" And he's like, "How do what did you say?" And I shoved him down. And he like back and he fell down because I'm a strong kid now. I'm 18. My goal was to get strong enough to fuck him up, right? So I shoved him down. I leaned over him and I let him have it. I told him, "Don't you ever come back home after a night like that again." And I was like, "Because I'm not a kid anymore and I will kill you." Yeah. And I remember the look in his eyes. He was scared. He was scared of me. And I really was gonna fuck him up. But then my mom came downstairs and told me to leave it alone. So I did. But yeah, so now you see why me going up to Alaska and taking my dad fishing with me and hiking, showing him that I really have forgiven him. The pain of what happened is still there, and it will always be there. But I realize now that he's just a man. It doesn't make him a good man or a bad man. He's just a human being, and human beings are capable of both wonderful and terrible things. Now that I've made my own mistakes with my family, I never raised a hand to any of them. But I did get angry and raised my voice and yelled and said things I regret. But yeah, I realized that the Buddha was right when he says holding on to resentment is like holding on to a burning coal with the intention of throwing it at your enemy. You get burned, right? Or he says it another way. I remember the Buddha said, like, what does it say? Like wanting to hurt someone else, holding on to resentment and wanting to harm someone else is like drinking poison, hoping it'll kill your enemy, you know? And I realized forgiving my dad, when I decided to finally forgive him and just let it all go, it felt like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. I feel lighter. I feel happy. I feel like I can finally find my own peace because I've forgiven him. And I realized that, you know what it was? It was one Christmas I was listening to the radio. You know how Christmas songs come on the radio. I was listening to the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I've heard it my whole life, but this one time I heard it differently. For the first time in my life, I heard it differently. You guys know the song. Hold on one second. Okay, so let me. Okay. Rudolph the Red. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But you know the song. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose. You know, all the reindeers wouldn't let him play the reindeers' games. They would make fun of him. They would laugh at him. You know, they treated him horribly. Never included him in any of the reindeer games. Why? Because he had a red nose? They made fun of him? Made him feel like an outcast? And then one foggy Christmas day, Santa comes to say, "Rudolph, with your nose so bright, that very nose that caused him to be treated so poorly, with that nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" Then all the reindeers loved him. It just glances over it. It just skips over what just happened. Santa said, "Hey, we need your help. We need that nose of yours that we made fun of your whole life. The very nose that was the reason why we never included you in anything that we did. Now we need it. We're desperate. We need you to save us. Will you guide my sleigh tonight? Will you help us?" If I was Rudolph in that situation, I would have said, "Hell no, motherfucker, you fat motherfucker." I would be like, you sat by and you let it happen. You're the one in charge, you fat fuck. And you let all that shit happen right under you. You watched it happen. And now you're coming to me and asking me for help. Why? Because you need my nose, the one that you made fun of all your life? Fuck you guys. In fact, here's what we do. Line up. Dancer and Prancer and, fucking all you motherfuckers, especially you, Prancer. You know what I'm saying? Prancing around, acting like you better than me. Get your ass over here, prance on over here and give me an apology. Heartfelt. And if I don't believe it, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not helping. I need a heartfelt apology from every one of you motherfuckers. And even then I might not help you. All my whole life. Now you coming at me like this? That's what I would have done. Because I'm a piece of shit. I'm an asshole. And I hold on to resentment. Rudolph was different. Rudolph said, "Yeah, I'll help you." Because he realized what he wanted the whole time was to be included. That's all he really wanted. He just wanted to feel like a valuable member of the family, of that group. And he realized, here's my chance. I'm finally going to be included. I'm going to be a valuable member of this family. Yeah, of course I'll do it. I'm going to let go of the resentment. I'm going to let go of the past and forgive you guys. Not even a question. You know? Then all the reindeers loved him, right? They even shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. Why? Why would Rudolph go down in history? Because he made that difficult decision. And he forgave the ones who terrorized him his whole life. He forgave them, and he helped them in their moment of need. So I may never go down in history. I know that because I'm a vengeful, resentful person. I know that. And I'm working on it. But maybe by forgiving my father and moving up to Alaska with them, giving him that peace of mind that your son, the one that you can rely on, he's here now. I'm here. I'm here to help. It's like and going out and finally fishing with my dad, hiking with him, being out in nature with him. Because when you're out in nature hiking, sometimes you have to rely on the person you're with. It gets difficult. I think that will not only give me peace, but I think it will help my father finally feel peace as well. Because who knows what he went through as a child. There's no telling why he was the way he was, with us. But I'm sure there's a reason. Let's see here. Let's see. Ramona says, I never feel alone when I'm surrounded by nature. Being in nature is my church. Exactly. Oh man, I love being out there. I have to keep reading it over and over. The Four Agreements. Yeah, yeah. There's books that I listen to over and over again as well. The audiobooks, just as a good reminder, a refresher. Oh, a good quote is when you read a book for the second time or the third time, when you read a book over again, you don't find anything new that wasn't there. You reveal things about you that weren't there. You know what I'm saying? It's like you read a book once and then you start to have experiences and the ideas and everything are in the back of your head and then you start to change a little bit, right? And then when you go and read the book again, you start to see new things that weren't there before. They were there before. And it's not that hold on, I can look it up. It was Bob Proctor that said it. Bob Proctor, when you read a book twice, you don't, hold on. I don't really know the exact quote. Let me see if it, perfect, here it is. Okay, so, oh shoot. Okay, it's tweet. Okay, so it's on Bob Proctor's Twitter, and his tweet says, "If you read a book a second time, you don't see something in it you didn't see before. You see something in yourself that wasn't there before." I knew I was messing up that quote. Isn't that awesome, Ramona? When you read a book for the second time, you don't see something in it that wasn't there before. You see something in yourself that wasn't there before. Wow, I love that. Okay. Let's see. Tara says, I'm so sorry, June. No, amor fati. I love my fate. That's my life. This is my story. I love it, because it's mine and it's meaningful to me, you know? Ramona says, "This is a fabulous practice, Lee." Yeah. Yeah, to make a grateful list. Yeah. Because Lee says, I try to make a grateful list every day. I don't always post it, but I make that list. It is a powerful exercise. Here's why I stopped doing that, Lee, because I realized Mark Manson was right. Because I was always trying to stay positive, look for the positive, and he's saying that the pursuit of a positive experience is in itself a negative one. And paradoxically, accepting one's negative fate, is in itself a positive experience. And I was like, that is so profound and so true, and I like it. I'm gonna embrace that. Rather than have a bad day and say, well, the good news is I'm not dead, it's like, no. Just accepting the shitty day. Like, wow, I'm having a really shitty day. And it just makes sense that I'm gonna have a shitty day once in a while. Out of all the days I'm gonna spend here on earth, a percentage of them have to be shitty. It's just the odds. I'm just experiencing one of them today. That's fine. I can get through it. And that in itself is a positive experience rather than looking for something positive. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying don't do that. I'm just saying for me, this is what's working better for me. Let's see here. Remember, it says, June, it sounds like your soul came here to teach your father the fear and pain, the strength your father saw of you, taught him so much about the meaning of life. I never thought of it that way, Ramona. It really is not an accident that you are here right now and that I'm here doing this right now. This is not an accident. I needed this. Ramona says, try not to hold on to resentment. It's like picking up 100 pounds of crap and carrying it around. Your soul will elevate when you just let it go. Exactly. Yeah. And things will smell much better. It reminds me of the story of the old man who was eating chips with that cheese that's really smelly. Um, what is it? I forget. Anyways, really smelly cheese, right? And he's eating crackers with it, falls asleep on his couch with some of the cheese bits on his mustache, right? So he wakes up and he takes a deep breath. And he's like, "Oh man, this room smells like shit." And so he goes to the kitchen, and he goes and washes the plate. And he's like, "This kitchen smells like shit." So he goes to to the bathroom to maybe wash his hands. He's like, "What's going on?" And so he goes in the restroom. He's like, "Yeah, Limburger cheese. Yeah, is it Lingerie cheese? But yeah, it's one of those cheese, right?" And I heard the story when I was in high school, but it always stuck with me. It made me laugh so hard. So he goes, this bathroom smells like shit. So he goes outside. He's like, I can't stand this house. It smells like shit. So he goes outside to get a breath of fresh air. Steps outside his door, takes a deep breath in. He says, "Oh my god, this whole world smells like shit." But I love that. I love that joke because, like, yeah, that's what we do, right? Never considering that maybe it's me, just blaming it on the world, Yeah. Let's see. Ramona says, "Great quote, June. Nice. Yeah, Limburger cheese. Yep." But yeah, that's basically what happens, right? I mean, we go through life, we smell some shit, we step in some shit, and we want to think, oh, the world is just full of shit. Like, no, no, the world is not. You just stepped in some shit. It's all good. But anyways, yeah. So that's where I'm at. What time is it? 11:21. Okay, cool. It takes about 40 minutes to get to the archery range, so I'll be there like around noon. Perfect with my dogs. I love taking my dogs with me, and they I think that Dexter feels bad for the animals, the fake animals, because they have a 3D course. And I got a fake deer here in my backyard too, right? A fake buck. And when I shoot at it, right? And sometimes Dexter will go and sit right in front of it because he knows if he stands or sits in front of it, I won't shoot at it. I think he thinks he's protecting that foam animal, that fake animal. I'm like, dude, Dexter, like, get up! You're not saving anybody. You're just getting away. Anyways, but yeah, they love it. They love going out there and exploring with me. So yeah, I'm gonna take them out onto the archery range, go on that 3D course, and I really am gonna start trying to really take it seriously. Here's the thing though, your mind can't wander when you're taking aim and you're trying to, hit a target. I remember one time I thought of a bill that was on my mind just for a split second, right before I released, because the aim was on, I had it on target, and for a split second, right before I released it, the bill came in my mind, right? The bill that I was thinking about, and I released, and the arrow went over the target into the woods. So I realized this is such a great exercise for me to teach to practice focusing on one thing and not allowing my mind to wander. Just focus, hone in on something, and boom, when I release and the arrow goes right where I was looking at, right where was intending it for it to go. Oh my god, ridiculously satisfying. Like, did I do that? The first time it happened, the first time I did it, I was like, oh my god, I started shaking because I felt like I'm in trouble. I felt like I was in trouble. I felt like it's not okay for me to be good at something. Because all my life, had I tried to do something or try to be, kids, my friends, my family members, oh, look at you, you think you're. So I would try to avoid that. So I remember the first shot went in, right? I was like, holy shit, it's in the bullseye, right? It's in that small target. And so second one next to it, third one right near it, right? A little bit off and to the right, up and to the right. I started shaking. I started feeling like somebody was gonna come and slap the bow out of my hand and say, "Who do you think you are? You think you're good? You think you're better than everybody? You think you're good at this?" Like, I started feeling like I was gonna be in trouble. I started shaking. I started feeling like, oh no, it's not okay. It's not okay for me to be good at this. It's not okay for me to be good at anything. Like, I'm supposed to be a loser, right? I'm supposed to be a failure. Like, that really taught me a lot of myself. Like, wow, wow, it's okay to be good at something. And if somebody else has a problem with it, that's their problem. It's not mine. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with me, how someone feels about me doing well at something. You know? I realized that. It's like, wow, archery has taught me so much. It really has. It taught me so much more than just how to shoot an arrow from a string. um, let's see, Ramon says, my dad always said a skunk smells his own hole first. That's a good one. Nice. But anyways, yeah, so that's where I'm going. I'm gonna be out on the archery range. I think, you know what? Today, I'm just gonna allow myself to do whatever comes to me. If I want to share on Instagram, I will. I'm not gonna feel guilty about it because, yeah, I'm okay with it now. I realize I'm not sharing. I'm not putting it on Instagram to get validation or to make that moment more complete for me. I'm doing it because I feel good and I want to remember it. It's for me, you know? So yeah, if I do feel like posting stuff on Instagram, I'll do that. If anybody wants to follow my Instagram, it's Spoonbender 81. And I got that from The Matrix because I am a huge Matrix fan, the original, the first one. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen The Matrix, first of all, what are you doing with your life? Second, there's a scene in The Matrix where Neo, the main character, Keanu Reeves, he's visiting. Oh shoot, I know, the Oracle. So, anyways, she's like this prophet, right? So he goes to visit her, and then as he's leaving, he sees this little boy, this little monk boy. He has a shaved head. He looks like a little monk, um, and he's bending the spoon. The spoon is just bending and wiggling, and then boop, goes right back to being solid. And Neo looking, right, and then he tries it. He's like trying to get the spoon to bend with his mind, and the little boy says, "Do not try to bend the spoon. That's impossible." He goes, "Simply try to realize the truth." And Neo's like, Keanu Reeves, "The truth, bro? Whoa," And the little boy's like, "Yeah, there is no spoon." And he's like, "There is no spoon, bro. Whoa." That's my Keanu Reeves impression. So yeah, I mean, that's where I got the idea. So I'm Spoonbender 81 because that's the year I was born, 81. So on Instagram, if you want to follow me, it's Spoonbender 81. Because there is no spoon, bro. Whoa. Anyways, it's fantastic, Keanu Reeves. Spot on, if you ask me. Anyways, watch the movie. You'll be like, holy shit, he really did nail that impression. Anyways, so that's what I'm gonna be doing. I hope everybody has a great day. Ramona says, thanks for being here, being you, and allowing us to share with you. You're a bright light, June. Keep on. Wow, thank you so much, Ramona. I really appreciate that. I hope you get to have a great day doing whatever comes to mind. Shoot, there's no right or wrong way to do the day, right? I got that from Mike Posley. He sings "You're Cooler Than Me." You think you're cooler than me. He was doing an interview on impact theory with Tom Bilyeu, and he was talking about this time he went to a cabin for a meditative retreat, and he was like, you listen to it's on impact theory on YouTube. Tom Bilyeu, he interviewed Mike Posner. Is it? Yeah. But anyways, um, in that interview, what he said that really hit me is there's no right or wrong way to do the day unless you're convinced that there's a right way to do it. Isn't that amazing? And it's true. There's no right or wrong way to live your day unless you're convinced, unless someone has convinced you that there is a right way to do it. And I apply that, I zoomed out and I apply that to my life now. There's no right or wrong way to live my life. It's my life, it's my time here. There's no right or wrong way to do it unless someone has convinced me that there was a right way to do it. Then I will live my life in what I determine is wrong. I live my life wrong because someone else convinced me that there was some right way to do it and I didn't do it that way. You know? But actually, that someone can go fuck themselves because there is no right way to live your life. There might be a right way for them to live their life that they've chosen for themselves. But do not ever let, oh my God, I will end with this quote. Um, Best advice I ever got. That's the name of the book by Katie Couric. Best advice I ever got. June the Groomer. I wrote a blog about it, and I'll read you this quote, and then I'm gonna end it, and I'm gonna go to the I almost say grocery store. That too, grocery store too. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the archery range. Okay, where is it? Mario Batali, celebrity chef and restaurateur. And his section of that book, The Best Advice I Ever Got by Katie Couric, is called Life is Not a Recipe. I'll leave you with this. Recipes are just descriptions of one person's take on one moment in time. They're not rules. People think they are. As you cook up your own life, never let anyone else's recipe for success intimidate you or get in your way. Know your truth and live by it. I honor the light in you that's also in me. Namaste. Oh, you're welcome, Ramona. And then if you think about it, the only person that convinced you is you. Exactly, Ramona. Thank you, Terry K. Wow, Terry, you stuck around for the whole hour and 40 minutes. Holy cow, Terry. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Terry. You'll never know how much I really do. I'm so grateful, so appreciative, Terry. Seriously, all the way out in California. Wow, I got a friend out in California. Her name is Terry K. But anyways, seriously, guys, I honor the light in you that's also in me. Namaste.